Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to Biology online classes. We have discussed about 40 questions in the chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants under CET and NEET. Let's move to question number 41. Select the correct statement with respect to mango and coconut. 1. They develop from monocarpellary superior ovary. 2. They develop from monocarpellary and inferior ovary. 3. They have fibrous epicarp. 4. They have fleshy edible mesocarp. The right answer is they develop from monocarpellary and superior ovary. So the fruit is called as drupe. We have already discussed. So the right option is option 1. Then question number 42. The inner layer of the seed coat is called testa, hilum, micropyle and tegmen. Okay, outer testa and inner it is tegmen. So hilum is the scar, isn't it, through which the seeds are attached to the wall of the fruit. So micropyle is the opening in the seed through which the male gamete enters. Pollen tube enters carrying the two male gametes. One of the male gamete will fuse with the diploid nucleus and another male gamete that will fuse with the secondary nucleus to form diploid endosperm nucleus, which later forms the endosperm. Question number 43. Which of the following parts of the embryo consists radicle and plumule? It is nothing but the embryonal axis, option 3. So the embryonal axis having plumule which develops, give rise to the shoot system, and the radicle which gives rise to the root system. Cotyledon are the nutritive tissue. There are two cotyledons in dicots and single cotyledon in case of monocots. So seed coat is nothing but the covering. Outer seed coat is called as testa and inner it is called as the tegmen. Endosperm is anyway the nutritive tissue which gives the nourishment to the developing embryo. Question number 44. Which of the following plant has endospermic seed? Endosperm is a nutritive tissue. Which seed after maturation will retain the endosperm? Those are called as the endospermic seed. So bean, gram, pea, castor. The answer is the castor is the endospermic seed. Most of the dicots, they do not retain the endosperm after the maturation of the seed. Okay. But castor, although it is a dicot, it is an exception for this. Pea, beans, these are all grams. These are all non-endospermic seeds. Okay. Question number 45. While representing a floral formula, G underscore, what is that stands for? It is standing for, yes, superior ovary. If the ovary is superior, then the flower is hypogynous flower. Okay. It is not epigynous, neither it is inferior ovary, nor it is androecium. Androecium is the male sex organ. Then inferior ovary. Inferior ovary means the flower is epigynous. Inferior ovary means flower is epigynous. Coming to question number 46. Select the correct option. There are two columns given, column 1 and column 2. You have to match the different symbols which are in the column 1 with their meaning in the column 2. BR for bracteate, K for calyx, C for corolla and P for perianth. Perianth is nothing but it is formed a whorl in the flower which is formed due to the fusion of sepals and the petals, that is called as the perianth. So the right answer is option 3. A is 4, B is 3, then C is 1 and D is 2. Let's move to question number 47. Actinomorphic nature of the flower is represented by which of the following symbols? Actinomorphic ಹೀಗೆ percentage symbol ಇದೆ. So option is actinomorphic ಹೀಗೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಬರೆದು ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಹಾಕಬೇಕು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿನೋಮಾರ್ಫಿಕ್. ಝೈಗೋಮಾರ್ಫಿಕ್ಕಿಗೆ ಪರ್ಸಂಟೇಜ್ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಎ ಅಂದರೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ರೋಶಿಯಮ್, ಮತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾರೋ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೈಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಆರೋ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ male and only lower it is plus, then it is female. Next, the floral formula of plants belongs to the family Fabaceae. We have already discussed, so identify the right floral formula for Fabaceae. So it is option 4. Next, the plants belonging to the family Solanaceae is represented by the floral formula Solanaceae. It is answer 3. Next, which of the following plants is used to extract the blue dye? Blue dye, it is indigo fera, correct? So option is 3. Lupin is an ornamental plant. Trifolium is used for fodder. All these belongs to Fabaceae, isn't it? Then cassia. Cassia is an example for zygomorphic flower, along with the beans gram and gulmohar. Let's move to the next question, students. Okay, this is from section B. We'll discuss the different questions from section B. First one, the origin of root hairs and lateral root is. The origin of root hair and lateral root is one exogenous and endogenous respectively. Yes, origin of root hair is from externally, so it is called as exogenous, and origin of lateral root it is endogenous, from the inside. Question option 2 say endogenous and exogenous, no. So the right option is option 1. Next, find out the odd one with respect to the radical leaves. Odd one with respect to the radical leaves: maize, radish, carrot, turnip. Okay, radical leaves are the primary root which is present in radish, which develops from the primary root which is present in radish, carrot and turnip, except maize. Okay, so radical leaves primary root. Okay, maize alilla, maize is a monocot, adalilla. So monocots, they have fibrous root. The primary root is short-lived, tap root is short-lived. Okay, next, coming to question number 3. Cuscuta, viscum and orobranche are similar in having. Cuscuta, viscum ಮತ್ತು orobranche ಅವುಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು? These are the hostorial roots. I told what is a hostoria. Hostoria is a roots which suck the food and water from the host. So they are parasitic roots. They are called as the hostoria, which enters to the host plant, suck the food and the water from the host. So right answer is option 4. Hygroscopic roots means which absorbs moisture from the atmosphere. For example, in case of orchids, they are also called as epiphyllous roots because these orchids usually grow on the other tree. Here the orchid will grow on the mango tree. So that is epiphyllous roots or hygroscopic roots. Assimilatory roots means the roots which having photosynthetic nature, that is called as assimilatory root. For example, there are green and aerial adventitious roots which prepare the food materials by the photosynthesis. Okay. For example, in case of plants like trapa, then plants like Ctenophyllum. These are all the examples where one have the assimilatory roots. Okay. One general information, Brassica oleracea, it is a scientific name of cauliflower. Okay. Next, match the column. In the column 1, they have given the different examples. In the column 2, the type of root. So you have to match the column 1 with the column 2. A. Cuscuta, B. Rhizophora, C. Vanda, D. Pendanus. Yes, Cuscuta is a hostorial root. Rhizophora is a respiratory root. Okay. Then Vanda is a hygroscopic root. Orchids, Vanda, all are hygroscopic roots which directly absorbs the moisture from the atmosphere. They have a tissue that is called as velamen. Already I explained, they have tissue called as velamen. Next, Pendanus, they are having stilt root. Pendanus, then sugarcane, they are all having stilt root, the root which arises from the base part of the nodal region. And they help for giving mechanical support. Next, stem modified into green flattened branches of unlimited growth of assimilatory function. Assimilation means for photosynthesis. Here the stem becomes green, flattened, and branches of unlimited growth with several nodes and internodes. Example is phylloclade. Phylloid is having branches with limited growth. Then cladode means branches having limited growth. Phylloid is the leaf modification where the petiole, the stalk of the leaf becomes expanded, they becomes green and photosynthetic, assimilatory. Bulbil is nothing but you can see in case of agave plants, a small bulb-like structures, and particularly one which is present in the axil of a leaf and which may fall on the ground and develop into a new plant. That means it helps for the vegetative propagation, that is the bulbil. Next, leafless stem of onion which produces cluster of terminal flowers is called as leafless stem leaflilla, okay, of onion which produces cluster of terminal flower. And what is that called as? It is called as scape. Peduncle is nothing but the stalk of the inflorescence. Floral axis means the axis which bearing the flowers. Scape is the right answer. So the leafless stem of the onion which produces the cluster of terminal flowers, and that is called as the scape. Rachis is nothing but the main vein, okay, which you can see in case of a compound leaf. For example, these are the leaflets. You can see in case of compound leaf is the main vein, and that is called as the rachis, characteristic feature in case of a compound leaf. Then which is not a modification of stem? 1. Tuber of potato, it is a modification of stem, it is the underground stem modification. Then picture of Nepenthes, Yes, it is not a modification of stem, it is a modification of leaf. Corm of colocasia, underground stem modification. Rhizome of a ginger is also underground stem modification. Okay. Reticulate venation is the feature of dicots. Reticulate venation ಯಾವುದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಡೈಕಾಟ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಸಮ್ ಮೊನೋಕಾಟ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಎಕ್ಸಿಬಿಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿನೇಷನ್. ಆದರೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಮೊನೋಕಾಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಈ ರೆಟಿಕ್ಯುಲೇಟ್ ವಿನೇಷನ್ ಉಂಟಂತೆ. ಯಾವುದು? ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಮೈಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, ಆಲ್ದೋ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಮೊನೋಕಾಟ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ರೆಟಿಕ್ಯುಲೇಟ್ ವಿನೇಷನ್. ಯಾವ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್? ಸ್ಮೈಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಎನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲೋಫಿಲ್ಲಮ್? ಕ್ಯಾಲೋಫಿಲ್ಲಮ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಚಂಪದ ಹೂವು, ಹೊನ್ನೆ ಹೂವು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ದೋ ಡೈಕಾಟ್ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ parallel venation. Although it is a dicot plant, it is having parallel venation. So there are some exceptions in the plant kingdom as well as in the animal kingdom for the general rule. There are exceptions in science, but the majority are having similar characters, but there are some exceptions. Okay, what is this eryngium andre? Eryngium is ಧನಿಯಾ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಧನಿಯಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಕೊತ್ತಂಬರಿ ಸೊಪ್ಪು. ಓಕೆ, ಕಾಡು ಕೊತ್ತಂಬರಿ ಸೊಪ್ಪು. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎರಿಂಜಿಯಮ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಡೈಕಾಟ್ ವೇರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ರೆಟಿಕ್ಯುಲೇಟ್ ವಿನೇಷನ್ ಕಾಮನ್. ದೆನ್ ಕೊರಿಂಬಿಯಮ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈಕಾಟ್ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಆದರೆ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ವಿನೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಡೈಕಾಟ್ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಆದರೆ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ವಿನೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ. Okay, that is in Corymbium, ಕೊತ್ತಂಬರಿ. ಕೊರಿಂಬಿಯಂ ಕೊತ್ತಂಬರಿ ಸೊಪ್ಪು, ಕೊರಿಂಬಿಯಂ. Next, coming to the next question, thorns, spines and prickles work as dash in plants. Thorns, spines and prickles ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ದೇ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ organ of defense or defensive organs. They are not the respiratory organs, they are not neither the excretory organs, they are not the organs of offense, but they are the organs of defense. So option 4 is the right answer. Next, leaflet tendril and entire leaf tendril are found in leaflet tendril ಅಂದರೆ ಲೀಫ್ಲೆಟ್ನಿಂದ ಬರುವಂಥ ಟೆಂಡ್ರಿಲ್, ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಲೀಫ್ನಿಂದ ಬರುವಂಥ ಟೆಂಡ್ರಿಲ್. ಸರಿಯಾ? ಈಗ ಇದು ಲೀಫ್ಲೆಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಲೀಫ್ಲೆಟ್ನಿಂದ ಬರುವಂಥ ಟೆಂಡ್ರಿಲ್, ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಲೀಫ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಲೀಫ್ನಿಂದ ಬರುವಂಥ ಟೆಂಡ್ರಿಲ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈಸ್ ಪೈಸಮ್. ಪೈಸಮ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ಫೆಬೇಸಿಯೆ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಲೀಫ್ಲೆಟ್ ಟೆಂಡ್ರಿಲ್ Lathyrus sativus. Lathyrus sativus is the common name for grass pea. Grass pea या common name ಏನು? Lathyrus sativus. Lathyrus sativus. ಸರಿಯಾ? So this is also called as blue sweet pea. Blue sweet pea. ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಲೀಫ್ನಿಂದ ಬರುವಂಥ ಟೆಂಡಿಲ್, ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಲೀಫ್ ಮತ್ತು ಲೀಫ್ಲೆಟ್ ಪೈಸಮಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ 2 ಇಸ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಕುಕುರ್ಬಿಟಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಮೈಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್. ಸ್ಮೈಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಶತಾವರಿ ಗಿಡ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದರ ಒಂದು ಬಳ್ಳಿ ಜಾತಿ, ಶತಾವರಿ ಗಿಡದ ಬಳ್ಳಿ ಜಾತಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಮೈಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾಸಿಫ್ಲೋರಾ ಮತ್ತು ವೈಟಿಸ್. ಪ್ಯಾಸಿಫ್ಲೋರಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್, ವೈಟಿಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಗ್ರೇಪ್ ವೈನ್, ಗ್ರೇಪ್ ವೈನಿಗೆ ವೈಟಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಲುಫಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ಕುಕುರ್ಬಿಟೇಸಿಯೆ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ, ಅಂದರೆ ಕುಕುಂಬರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಗೆ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. Luffa. Luffa belongs to Cucurbitaceae family. Luffa. So, kahi ಹಾರೆ ಇದು ಹೀರೆಕಾಯಿ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಕಹಿ ಹೀರೆಕಾಯಿ ಬಳ್ಳಿ, ಅದನ್ನು ಲುಫ್ಫಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಲುಫ್ಫಾ ಅಕ್ಯುಟ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಯುಲಾ. ಅಕ್ಯುಟ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಯುಲಾ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ನೇಮ್. ಲುಫ್ಫಾ ಅಕ್ಯುಟ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಯುಲಾ. ಅಕ್ಯುಟ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಯುಲಾ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ನೇಮ್. ಸೊ ಹೀರೆಕಾಯಿ, ಕಾಡು ಹೀರೆಕಾಯಿಯ ಬಳ್ಳಿಗೆ ಲುಫ್ಫಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಇನ್ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್. ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಫಿಲೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ, ಆಲ್ಸ್ಟೋನಿಯಾ ಮತ್ತು ನೀರಿಯಮ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ನೀರಿಯಮ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಕಣಗಲೆ, ಕರವೀರದ ಹೂವು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಇರೋದು ಫಿಲೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಡೆಕ್ಕಸೆಟ್ ಫಿಲೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ ಇರೋದು ಜಿನ್ನಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಕ್ಯಾಲೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಜಿನ್ನಿಯಾ ಮತ್ತು ಕ್ಯಾಲೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಸ್, ಇವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಯಾವುದು? ಡೆಕ್ಕಸೆಟ್ ಫಿಲೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೆಕ್ಕಸೆಟ್ ಫಿಲೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಫಿಲೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ. ಇದು ರೈಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ಸಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರೆ, ಒಂದು ಹೀಗೆ 180 ಡಿಗ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ರೈಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಅಪೋಸಿಟೇ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಡೆಕ್ಕಸೆಟ್ ಆರ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಡೆಕ್ಕಸೆಟ್ ಫಿಲೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ ಅಂತ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಜಿನ್ನಿಯಾ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಸ್. ಸೊ ಕ್ವಿಸ್ಕ್ವಾಲಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಕ್ವಿಸ್ಕ್ವಾಲಿಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಕಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಕೆಂಪು ಮಲ್ಲೆ. ಕ್ವಿಸ್ಕ್ವಾಲಿಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಕಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಕೆಂಪು ಮಲ್ಲೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ. ಸಿಡಿಯಮ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಪೇರಳೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಸಿಂಜಿಯಮ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಜಾಮೂನ್. ಓಕೆ. ಸಿಜಿಯಮ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಜಾಮೂನು, ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಜಾಮೂನ್. ಜಾಮೂನ್. ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟ್ ಫಿಲೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಮಸ್ಟರ್ಡ್, ಚೈನಾ ರೋಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸನ್ಫ್ಲವರಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಫಿಲೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ ಇರೋದು ಜಿನ್ನಿಯಾ ಅಥವಾ ಜೀನಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಜೀನಿಯಾ. ಸೊ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಫಿಲೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ ಜೀನಿಯಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್. Opposite and decussate phyllotaxy, it is seen in case of ಜಿನ್ನಿಯಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಸ್. ನೋಡಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಫಿಲೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ, ಅದು ಇರೋದು ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ? ಆಲ್ಸ್ಟೋನಿಯಾ ಮತ್ತು ನೀರಿಯಮ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಡೆಕ್ಕಸೆಟ್ ಫಿಲೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ ಅನ್ನು ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಡೆಕ್ಕಸೆಟ್ ಅಂದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದು ಇರೋದು ಜಿನಿಯಾ ಮತ್ತು ಕ್ಯಾಲೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಡೆಕ್ಕಸೆಟ್ ಫಿಲೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ ಅಂತಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಫಿಲೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ ಅಂತಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಡೆಕ್ಕಸೆಟ್ ಫಿಲೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅದು ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ನಲ್ಲೇ, ಆದರೆ ಒಂದು 180 ಡಿಗ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ರೈಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ಸಲ್ಲಿದೆ 90 ಡಿಗ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಮೋರ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಪ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಡೆಕ್ಕಸೆಟ್ ಫಿಲೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋವಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದ ಮಾಡಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೀಫ್? ಈ ಕೆಳಗಿನವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಲೀಫ್ ಮಾಡಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. 1. ಟೆಂಡ್ರಿಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಆ್ಯಂಟಿಗೊನಾನ್. ಆ್ಯಂಟಿಗೊನಾನನ್ನು ಕಾಮನ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಕೋರಲ್ ವೈನ್. ಆ್ಯಂಟಿಗೊನಾನ್ commonly called as coral vine. Okay, tendril in Antigonon, it is not the modification of leaf, but it is the modification of inflorescence. It is the modification of inflorescence. Inflorescence andre the branch which bear the flowers. Next, tendril in clematis. Clematis is a type of climber. Clematis is a type of climber. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಲೀಫ್ ಮಾಡಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಟೆಂಡ್ರಿಲ್ ಇನ್ ಗ್ಲೋರಿಯೋಸಾ. ಗ್ಲೋರಿಯೋಸಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಆರ್ನಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಗ್ಲೋರಿ ಲಿಲ್ಲಿ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಮನ್ಲಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ glory lily. Here also there is a leaf modification, or it is also called as fire lily, because the flower appears like a beautiful yellowish orange colored fire. Tendril in Nepenthes. Nepenthes is a pitcher plant, insectivorous plant. Idralli kuda leaf modification irutte. Followed. So the right option is option 1. Next move to question number 13. Select a correct set. 3 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್, ಅದರ ಆರ್ಗನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅದರ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್, ಅದನ್ನು ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ವ್ಯಾಂಡಾ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ರೂಟ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಿಯಸ್ ರೂಟ್. ಆಫ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮಾಯಿಶ್ಚರ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ an also example for epiphytic root. Okay, it has got very thick and spongy tissue which is covering the outermost layer, which acts like a outermost layer, and that is called as the velamen tissue. Thick and spongy outermost tissue, that is called as the velamen, which helps for absorbing the moisture from the atmosphere. So it acts like a hygroscopic one. So next, jasmine, it is not an offset. Jasmine is example for stolon. Okay, so it will not help for photosynthesis, it will help for vegetative propagation. Next is pineapple. Pineapple, of course, it is a sucker and helps for vegetative propagation. So it is in parallel to beneath the surface of the ground. Chrysanthemum, pineapple, banana, these are examples for sucker. There is a main axis, parental axis, which grows beneath the soil surface, and from the main axis a lateral branch arises which will grow horizontally for certain distance and arches upwards and touches the soil, and from where a new plant will arise. That is the sucker. Next, Nepenthes. Here leaf tip is the organ having the function of nitrogen absorption. They will not help for photosynthesis, they help for nitrogen absorption. So leaf tip, it is modified into an operculum. So if you see the insectivorous plants, they are having a petiole. Petiole is modified into a tendril, and leaf lamina, it is modified into a picture, and there is a leaf tip which is modified into an operculum. Next, coming to question number 14. Inflorescence with the thick fleshy axis and large colored bract is example for. Okay, inflorescence with thick fleshy axis and large colored bract. Already we have discussed about different kinds of inflorescence. This is nothing but the spadix inflorescence. So here the inflorescence is with the thick fleshy axis and large colored bract, you can see. So that bract is called as the spathe. Okay, now spike, you can see in case of Acheranthus, spiky hair. I give the example of this. Then hypanthodium. Hypanthodium is a special kind of inflorescence. Hypanthodium is a special kind of inflorescence. So where do you find this hypanthodium? So in hypanthodium there is a pear-shaped peduncle, okay, forming cavity with the pore, forming cavity with the pore, ostiole this is called as. So pear-shaped peduncle forming a cavity with the pore. Peduncle andre enu? The stalk of the inflorescence, it is called as the peduncle. So if it is a stalk of the inflorescence, it is having a otiole, it is a pore which is present in the peduncle. So the peduncle is pear-shaped, forming a cavity with the pore, that is called as ostiole. Can you see? Oh, sorry, ostiole. So this is the peduncle and the stalk of the inflorescence, which is becoming fleshy, okay, juicy, and which are having an opening here. That opening is called as ostiole. This is example for hypanthodium. Hypanthodium, a special kind of inflorescence. Special kind of inflorescence. So male at the top, male flowers top, and females are at the base. Okay, here the males are near the top and the female flowers are found at the base of the inflorescence. Next, bisexual, sessile and bracteate flowers develop acropitally in. Once again, bisexual, andre both male and female sex organs are present in the same flower. Sessile andre stalk illa, and bracteate flowers, bract iruvantadu, develop acropitally. Older flowers are at the base open first, then the younger one which are present at the top will open later, that is acropital. It is the characteristic feature of a spike. So bisexual, sessile and bracteate flowers. Bisexual, bisexual, sessile ಮತ್ತು ಬ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೆಸೈಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಪೆಡಿಸೆಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಫ್ಲವರಿಗೆ, ಬಟ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್. older flower at the base and the younger flower at the top. So this is a characteristic feature of spike inflorescence. Okay, next raceme, panicle. Panicle is another name for compound raceme. You can see in case of mango. Racemose inflorescence, simple raceme in hibiscus. Simple raceme. Simple raceme, you already studied about the simple raceme and compound raceme. Then panicle is nothing but the compound raceme. You can see in case of mango. Corymb, all this type of inflorescence you have studied in your synopsis, so I will not explain once again. Next, see which kind of inflorescence is shown in the figure given below. ಈ ಕೆಳಗಿನ ಫಿಗರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಇದು ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೋರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ. ಆಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಸಿನಾಪ್ಸಿಸಲ್ಲಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಡೈಕೇಶಿಯಲ್, ಮೊನೋಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಸೈಮ ಅಥವಾ ಪಾಲಿಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಸೈಮ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಡೈಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಮೊನೋಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದು? ವರ್ಟಿಸೆಲ್ಲರ್. ನೋಡಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೈಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಸೈಮ್ ಎಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಮೊನೋಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಸೈಮ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಡೈಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಸೈಮ್ ಬಟ್ ಎಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಮೊನೋಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಸೈಮ್. ನೋಡಿ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡೈಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಸೈಮ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಎರಡು ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಬಂದರೆ ಅದು ವಾಪಸ್ ಡೈಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಆಯಿತು. ಆದರೆ ಇದು ಡೈಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದರಿಂದ ಈ ಫ್ಲವರಿಂದ ಈ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಚಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಬಂದಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಈ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಚ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಇದರಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಹೀಗೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಚಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಸರಿಯಾ? ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಚ್ ಇದೆ, ಇದರಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಇದೇ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಚಿನಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಮೊನೋಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇದು ವಾಪಸ್ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಮೊನೋಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಒಂದೊಂದೇ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಚ್ ಬಂದದ್ದು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಪೆಡಿಸಲಿಂದ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೈಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಸೈಮ್ ಎಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಮೊನೋಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಸೈಮ್. ದಟ್ type of inflorescence is called as verticillaster. This is a new concept for you, so note down. This is called as the verticillaster. ಮೊನೋಕೇಶಿಯಲ್, ಡೈಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪಾಲಿಕೇಶಿಯಲ್ ಸೈಮ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಆಗಿದೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ. ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿನಾಪ್ಸಿಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೋರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ verticillaster. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ erase. Let's move to question number 17. Find out the odd one with respect to inflorescence axis elongation. ನೋಡಿ, ಅಂಬೆಲ್, ಸ್ಪೈಕ್, ರೆಸಿಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕ್ಯಾಟ್ಕಿನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸ್ಪೈಕ್, ರೆಸಿಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟ್ಕಿನ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಫ್ಲೋರಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್, ಬಟ್ ಅಂಬೆಲ್ ಫ್ಲೋರಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ is reduced. Okay, and flowers are born from a single point. ಅಂಬೆಲಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇನ್ ಫ್ಲೋರಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಅದು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಆಲ್ ದ ಫ್ಲವರ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ born from a single point, umbrella like. Okay, that is in case of umbel. So and at the nodal region they have bunch or group of bracts which are green and they are called as involucre. This already I explained. So spike, raceme ಮತ್ತು catkin they are having long floral axis, but umbellally floral axis is reduced and flowers are born from a single point. Next, question number 18. Okay, the type of inflorescence characterized by having dimorphic flower. Dimorphic flower ಯಾವುದು? ಡೈ ಅಂದರೆ ಎರಡು. 1 catkin, 2 umbel, 3 corymb, 4 capitulum. Yes students, you are correct. In capitulum there are two kinds of flowers. One is ray florets, another one is disc florets. Ray florets are usually found at the peripheral region, which are usually unisexual, either male or female florets, and disc florets are usually found at the center and usually they are bisexual. They are having both the male as well as the female sex organs. And apart from that, one more important point you have to remember, the ray florets, they are zygomorphic, ಅಂದರೆ bilaterally symmetrical, whereas the disc florets, they are actinomorphic, ಅಂದರೆ radially symmetrical. This is another point you have to remember. Then in head or capitulum inflorescence, once again, the ray florets are pistillate or neuter and zygomorphic. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಯುನಿಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್. ಪಿಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದು? ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ಟೇಮನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದು? ಮೇಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಈ ರೇ ಫ್ಲೋರೆಟ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ ಪಿಸ್ಟಿಲ್ಲೇಟ್ ಆರ್ ನ್ಯೂಟರ್. ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್, ನ್ಯೂಟರ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಝೈಗೋಮಾರ್ಫಿಕ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ 3. ಸೊ ಪಿಸ್ಟಿಲ್ಲೇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನ್ಯೂಟರ್ In case of ray florets, usually they are pistillate, okay, and disc florets are usually bisexual, and ray florets are usually zygomorphic, and disc florets are usually actinomorphic. This you have to remember. Then flowers with the monoadelphous condition and pentacarpellary ovary are present in 5 ಕಾರ್ಪೆಲ್ ಉಂಟಂದ್ರೆ ಪೆಂಟಾಕಾರ್ಪೆಲ್ಲರಿ ಓವರಿಯಲ್, ಮತ್ತು ಫ್ಲವರ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಮೊನೋಎಡೆಲ್ಫಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಆಲ್ ದ ಫಿಲಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ to form a single bundle in a stamen, monoadelphous. So that is seen in China rose family, the hibiscus. P family they have diadelphous condition. Yucca andre it belongs to a family called as Asparaceae. Yucca plant belongs to Asparaceae family. Potato family, it is Solanaceae. So Malvaceae family, hibiscus belongs to Malvaceae family, China rose family, Malvaceae. Okay, remember. P family is Fabaceae, potato family is Solanaceae, and Yucca family is Asparaceae. So right answer is option 1 for question number 20. And students, by this we have completed the CET NEET topic for morphology of flowering plants. So note down all the points which I have written on the board and also take my lecture notes. And there are more questions which I will give you for the assignment, and I will give you sufficient time, and you need to submit those questions to me. Okay, I will give you the dates also later. So I will send you those questions through WhatsApp. Okay students, so thank you for watching the video.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.